we have none other than Dwayne Reid from Reid Financial. And let me tell you something, you need to share this right now with all your friends and your family members, because you know some of them cousins got bad credit. Okay. And you you want to make sure that they get tuned into this program so that they can get all the information they need to improve their life and their credit score. So the theme is better credit, better life. And so we're going to just talk to here's some really good tips, some great tips from Dwayne on how we can do that. I just want to thank our sponsor for these programmings, Tom Estes from Allstate. His information will be coming up throughout the program. So please support our sponsors that you see on the line, because you like this free information. You know, you want to make sure it gets out there and stays that way. Most of this would cost us a dime, but because we have our great sponsors on the program, we're able to bring this to you of free of cost. So now, without further ado, I want to welcome the great the great guy, Dwayne Reid. He's going to talk to you about how you can improve your credit. Welcome, Dwayne.
Hello, 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 hello. Thanks for having me on, man. This is a great opportunity. I appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So how we doing today?
Awesome, man. We're doing good. We're doing good. So
Cool.
tell the folks about what you do
All
primarily.
right, so my name is Dwayne the Credit Guy, or Credit Man, whatever you know me as. Let me adjust this a little bit. So pretty much what we do is I run a credit repair company, right? Reid Financial Solutions. So what we try to do is we try to do well, we do a couple things, right? The basic thing that we do is we help people to fix their credit, because we know a lot of people have credit issues, but we also help people to educate we also help to educate people on credit, because a lot of times people have bad credit because they just don't understand credit, right? So
Mhm.
we help them to help them to understand, help them to clean it up, and we also monitor, how they use their credit over a certain amount of time. That way we can kind of, narrow down some bad habits that they might have. Maybe occasionally paying things late, maxing out credit cards, all that good stuff. So it's kind of a three-part process that we do to help people to improve their credit. We've been in business since 2000, legally since 2011, but I've been doing this since 2005. We're located in Irvington at 1233 Clinton Avenue. And we have an office you can walk in. Don't forget your mask. But you can walk in and you can get your credit started. Get working on today. So we just try to put as many people in position as possible to, because I feel like once people realize how credit works, once they understand it, they'll have better credit, and then more doors are open as far as opportunities.
So how does credit work? It seems like that mystery unicorn out there that
Mm,
everybody's still trying to figure out.
yeah.
How do we climb this tree, right?
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, tell the folks out there, really, how do we improve if we have bad credit, and what causes like our credit score to go up and down?
Okay, cool. So this is the thing about credit, right? The credit is nothing more than a calculation based off information that the credit bureaus collect. So you have three major credit bureaus. You have Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Now they do is collect information on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So companies pretty much look to them to see if you're worthy for them to give you credit. So that's pretty much what their main job is. So what they did was they created a credit score to make it easier for businesses like banks or loan companies, whatever, so they can know if they can give you money or not, right? So your credit score is what's most important. Now the question was, what's a credit score? So a credit score is just a calculation between your payment history, your debt to credit ratio, how much times you run your credit, do you have any new credit, what's the age of your credit? It's a lot of things that go into that credit score. But what I like to tell people is, as long as you pay your bills on time, and you keep your credit card balances under 30%, you're almost guaranteed to have a decent credit score. I'm not saying 700, but you're almost guaranteed to be 620, 630 just by doing those basic things, right? Um, Also, a lot of people might not know is the 30% rule, which I thought everyone knew about, but a lot of people don't understand that just keeping your credit card balances under 30% of the limit is 30% of your credit score. So look at it like this: 35% of your credit score is your payment history,
Mm-hmm.
30% is your credit card balances. So a lot of people, that's like the big secret when it comes to your credit score. I've seen people come into my office, then they might have had $5,000 in credit card debt. They're maxing out all their credit cards every month. and they can't understand why their score won't go up. So I'm like, hello, your credit card usage is your problem. But people, again, they don't really see the impact of that. People, people say things like, oh, my inquiries, I have too many inquiries, that's why my score is low. It's not your inquiries. 99% of the time is not the inquiries. Um, they might say, oh, I don't have anything negative on my credit report. Then you look at the credit report, they got collections, they got
Right.
repossessions, all types of stuff. So it's kind of a lot of things that go into a credit report, but the basic things that they look at is your debt to credit ratio, which is your credit card usage, and your payment history. So as long as you keep those two in check, you almost guaranteed to have a good credit score.
Wow. The 30% rule.
Yeah. So
that is amazing, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the unicorn when it comes to the credit reporting, because a lot of people don't understand that simple thing. Is it blows people's mind when you explain it to them. Like, look, you got to make sure you keep your credit cards under this. And I've had clients who they might see a significant increase. Maybe they were like 680, 690. And the following month we pull their report and they drop down to like a 580, and they calling me, hey, what happened? I lost 100 points. And you're like, hey, you maxed out your credit card. And they're like, oh, it couldn't just be that. Yes, it is just that. Like you max out your credit card. You have to pay it off, and they'll pay it off. Next month, it goes right back up. And for some reason, people just don't want to believe that. They think that's like a myth, but that's actually is the truth.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. You can't get around it. Yeah, you can't get around it.
If you just use 30% of whatever you have and maintain that at 30, like you pay a bill and then you pay your card, right? That maintains your credit score.
And your credit score is going higher and higher at that point.
Got it.
Oh, Dwayne, someone comes to you and says, my foot is bleeding. And you said, did you shoot yourself in the foot? I'm like, yeah, well, that's why your foot is bleeding. So,
yeah, exactly.
If you keep shooting yourself in the foot, don't come ask you why your foot is bleeding.
Exactly.
This is it.
In this case, people don't really realize that, shooting themselves in the foot will make their foot bleed. So that's why you got to kind of show them like, hey, if you shot yourself in the foot, this is why your foot is bleeding. And they're like, okay, cool. Most of the time they won't do it again. Or next time they shoot themselves in the foot, they realize they expect blood next time. So let me not say nothing because I know why this happened. So that's pretty much that's how we get around that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So your services really kind of help people to focus in then.
Pretty much. It's really education. It's all about education, because you can fix someone's credit 20 times, but if you're not telling them what they're doing wrong, they're going to keep messing it back up. So we try to educate everybody on how the credit report works, how the numbers, where the numbers come from.
All right. So I can already see the difficult task that you have ahead of you, because getting people, seriously, it's like getting people to change their habits.
Yeah. Yep.
Is the toughest thing in the world, because it takes they said it takes 30 days to really build a habit.
Exactly.
And it's like 60 days it takes to establish it, right? So for some people that's been doing stuff for a lifetime, how do you handle that client, man? How do you
you just gotta, what it is, you just gotta and that's where the whole sales approach comes in. You gotta show them what life can be like. It's kind of like someone, let's say somebody has a problem with drugs, right? And they can't get anywhere in life. They keep setting themselves back. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their family, losing their house. You have to show them the life without that. So you have to show them how good life can be if you just make these little, drugs is not really a good, analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
That's more of an addiction. That's really hard to break. But when it comes to like people, they think that paying something late every now and then, maxing out a credit card, not paying a bill, they think that it won't hurt them. Over the long run, it does hurt you, because it pretty much locks the door of opportunity right in front of your face. For instance, I have clients that come to me all the time with terrible credit, and they the house they're living in, let's say the landlord said, hey, I'm going to sell this house, but I'll offer it to you first. Now they're like, okay, I want to buy it. But then they're like, oh, how's your credit? I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. Let me go get my, let me see what's up with the credit. And then they realize they've been for years slacking, and they think that it's going to take, 2-3 months to fix their credit. And they realize it takes a little longer than that. Right. So it's like you're literally locking yourself out from things like, let's say your car breaks down, you need a loan to fix your car, or the roof on your house is leaking, you need a loan for that. The credit offers you the opportunity for all these things to be taken care of. And I've had people in my office that literally missed, like, I'm talking about jobs, like, careers that they wanted and couldn't get into a certain company because of the fact that they had bad credit report. And a lot of people don't realize that a bad credit report can deny you for a job because of that, especially in the financial industry, right?
Right.
Even something like car insurance. You want to go get car insurance, you can pay up to 50% more because you have bad credit. So all you pretty much do is show these people how their negative credit score is affecting their lifestyle and how easy their life can be if they just, lock in, focus, get the credit score back where it needs to be, and don't make the same mistakes again. And a lot of times, once people get to good credit, I don't see them again. You know what I mean? Even if I do see them again, they tell me what's wrong. Hey, I got this collection account that popped up. I paid late back in February. Can you take care of those for me? Like they know exactly why this score is where it is. So that's how I know we're doing a good job as far as the repair. But you're always gonna have people that just don't get it and just don't care to get it. They just need something now. I need a car. Get my credit score to here so I can pick up a car. They go get the car, and then all the work you did is pretty much down the drain. But I got paid, so hey.
So quick question. Someone walks into your office and says, how can you fix me? How can you help me fix my credit? What is your process?
Okay, first things first, I have to see the credit report. So we pretty much take any site that's going to show you a detailed credit report. Because a lot of people don't realize that a credit score is good for the consumer, but I can't do nothing with a credit score. I got to see the actual report, what's on the report, what's causing your score to be low. Once I look the report over, I pretty much tell them, I said, hey, okay, well, these are the issues that I found that we need to repair. This is how we're going to fix it. Also, let's say, for instance, let's say you have a person that walks to the office. They had a bad credit card that charged off. They have 5 collection accounts, nothing positive on their credit report. What we would do is we'll say, hey, we're going to try to remove these collection accounts here. We're going to try to get off these credit cards. If you can't, if we can't get them off, you're going to have to pay this one. We'll give them instructions on how to pay it, how much to pay. So we kind of hold their hand through the whole process, right? And then once we get their credit report to a point where they're not qualified for credit cards, we actually help them get the credit cards, go over with them how to use the credit cards. We literally assign them limits. Like, let's say, for instance, if I get you a credit card to have $300 on it, I'm going to literally tell you, don't use no more than $100 on that credit card, right? And then what I do is every time I work on your report, let's say, we put the plan together, you signed up and you left. Every time I work on your report, I'm going to look at that credit card to see how you're using it. And if you're using it incorrectly, I'm going to call you and say, hey, look, your credit score could have been here, but now it's here because of what you did with the credit card. So it's pretty much, we're just holding their hand through the entire process. But it all starts with me seeing your actual credit report, putting the plan together. And we do all of that before we exchange any money. I don't want no money from you until, I look at your report and you agree that, you're down with this plan and you want to work.
Wow. So you need people you really do need people that are ready to really work on themselves then.
Yeah. I don't advertise, I don't really advertise much. Like I don't say, hey, if you want the credit fix, come see me. A lot of times, the people that we've built up our name so much that people just come in when they're ready, right? They'll drive, they'll see the sign, and I don't want to be outside. Hey, come get your credit. I shouldn't have to tell you that. I look at credit like car insurance, like, you know what I mean? You need me. You know what I'm saying? So come on in. That's how I look at it. You'll never catch me like trying to sell somebody on credit repair. I'll just tell you what life would be like with good credit. Do you want that? Okay, well, I can help you get there.
Right. And that's really the point. If you don't see the value to it, you really can't help anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to see the value of having something, and therefore now I can teach you about it.
Exactly.
Versus you begging them to understand. Oh, listen, it's really valuable for you to improve your credit.
Exactly.
Prove it to me.
That's that.
Your credit.
Do you have a car? No. Why are you walking? Because you have bad credit. So
exactly.
You prove it to yourself. Look at where you are in life. It's like, yeah, I wanted a house, I couldn't get it. I wanted a job, I couldn't get it. Maybe it's my credit score. Let me see what Dwayne can do.
Exactly.
You got to hit that. Like it's time for me to grow up and do something.
Exactly. That's what I sit around and wait for. Once you're ready, like for instance, I've had a lot of clients that are out. They'll reach out to me. I'll go over the plan, and I don't. They won't hear from me until they'll text me back and say, okay, I'm ready, or they'll call me back and say I'm ready. And I have clients that tell me all the time, wow, the reason why I came back was because you didn't call me one time to force me to sign up. You just like, I said, look, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm not trying to sell you a toaster that you don't need. Like I'm giving you something that's gonna help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
what now this is going to be a little bit personal. What got you into this business? Like, will you always have a perfect score, or you were one of those people that had to work yourself out of it?
Yeah, I made the mistakes that all of us make. I got that credit card at 18, didn't understand how it worked. Ended up winning the credit card. I remember I had an apartment. I had an apartment and I had a car. And I remember I felt like I was doing so good for myself. And then one day I got my paycheck, and my paycheck was, half the money was gone. And I'm like, what's going on? Come to find out, that credit card company sued me and garnished my paycheck.
Wow.
So my paycheck went from, like, I was getting at the time like $600 a week, and all of a sudden it went from like $600 a week to like $425 a week, right? And I said, man, what is going on? So I went to I went to the H&R department, and I said, hey, where's my money? You know what I'm saying? You know how we are. Where's my money?
Where's my money?
That's what the credit card company was saying. Hey, where's my money? It's like, I know where it is.
They said, you had a lawsuit. The name of the company at the time was Providian. It's like, yeah, Providian, they sued you, and then, we got a court order for them to collect money. I said, so you just gonna let them take money out of my paycheck? It was like, it's nothing we could do. So I might have been 22 at the time, right? And here's the catch. I've been doing credit. I've been helping people with their credit since I was 20, right? But I only knew about the dispute process. I didn't understand the court system. I didn't understand, all the stuff around the credit. I didn't know how to build credit. I didn't know none of that stuff. So once that happened to me, I started paying more attention. I started reading up on how judgments work, how they were able to garnish my paycheck. And pretty much I just got into it. And what really got me started in the whole credit thing was one day my mother was trying to get a car, right? And then she came to me and she said, hey, I can't get a car because, I have bad credit. And I said, okay, well, I can fix it with your credit. And she's like, what you know about credit? Mind you, at the time, I'm like 23, 22. All I'm doing is hanging out, young people. All I'm doing is hanging out every night, doing all this crap, right? So then she said, what you know about credit? And I said, I can fix your credit. So then, she gave me information, sat down, pulled her reports, did everything I had to do. She got her results back. And I remember she was walking around the house looking like with her mouth open, like all these things got deleted off her credit report, score shot up. So she was able to go buy a car. So and then my father came to me. He was like, hey, I heard you know how to fix credit. So then he came, fixed his credit. Right.
So your parents were your first clients.
Yeah, pretty much. And
call Uncle Joey and get that, get the whole family in.
Yeah, exactly. So it just kept going from there. And then what really got me into it, right? Every Saturday I used to go to this guy's, this guy had a house every Saturday. He would have all these people there. He would have 5 or 6 people every Saturday there waiting for me to fix their credit. So mind you, I still have bad credit. I still don't have a credit card. I don't have nothing going for myself credit wise, right? And I'm going to this guy's house and fixing all these people's credit. So I remember one day I was on the Parkway. I had a 93 Toyota Camry. I just got it out the body shop. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had leather seats, a sunroof. I thought I was the best.
Creme de la creme, yeah.
Right? I thought I was at the top of my game.
Yeah, that's it.
This was in 2005 or 4. It might have been 2005. One of the guys that I helped pulled up next to me on the Parkway in a brand new BMW 645, right? When they first came out, the convertible one. Pulled up next to me, beep the horn, beep, beep. He's like, thanks, credit man. That's where I got my name from, too. He's like, thanks, credit man. He pulled off, and it's like a light bulb went off in my head. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? How he got that and I got this, and I was helping him. Right. And I went home and I jumped on, back then it was Yahoo. I jumped on Yahoo, typed in credit repair, and this whole world just like opened up to me. And I'm like, wow. All of this time, this is like $1 billion industry, and I'm here charging people $100, $75, $50. Just because I was not even realizing the talent that I had. So then at that point is when I really started getting focused and really, educating myself and reading a lot more and just doing a lot of research on credit repair. And the story is, and I met some key people along the way that helped me get to the next level. Right. And now I'm where I'm at now, man, where I own, properties and pretty much took advantage. I fixed my credit,
Yes,
I got my credit fixed, and then started taking advantage of all the opportunities that was out there to show other people, because I like to live my life as an example. Yes. Like show other people, look, I have this, you can get this too. This is how I did it. So that's pretty much how I got into it. But I think that day on the Parkway is when my eyes really opened up, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? So I'm pretty much self-taught. I taught myself this stuff too, which is another thing.
See, Phil, you mentioned earlier, it takes 21 days to do this. It takes 30 days. No, it takes that. It takes an aha moment to say,
yeah, exactly. That light bulb
crap
moment
has got to stop, and it stops today. So that will not take 21 days. It's
no.
Damn, someone pulling up with a brand new shiny car, like, wait, I helped you, and you're smoking me, like one of them.
Yeah, something.
This is not going to take 21 days to figure this one out.
Exactly.
It's funny because you sometimes you teach people a thing and they start doing better than you because you've done such a good job teaching them.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And it's like and I feel like that you must have felt good too, that you were able.
Great. Yeah,
and it showed you the value of the service you were providing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm charging this person $75, and they're gaining $100,000 from the information I gave.
Exactly.
Now my information is much more valuable than that.
Yeah.
You know, so you started your business out of your passion.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is amazing. That's an amazing thing, because you know, we're talking to people now. You know, the purpose of the Financial Empowerment Week is we're talking to people. Our audience right now are people that either want to start a business or want to improve their life, but don't know where to start. You know, they're at this place where they're trying to figure out, you know, which way is up. Should I, you know, right now I got furloughed. I'm unemployed. You know, I'm getting these little bonus checks from the government. You know, what do I do with that? Right. And the first step, if you have bad credit, is not to go buy those Jordans.
No. Yeah.
Jordan has got enough money. Okay. You going to buy his $300 sneakers is not going to improve your life.
No, it's not.
Right? Your feet might look good, but you know,
but they're bleeding.
From that gunshot wound, right?
You just shot yourself in the foot again.
Right.
You know, and so it's like, you know, I want to ask you this one question, right, before we get going. So you actually found what your passion was, and because you were already doing it. Now, what would you say to that person that is like sitting at home, you know, waiting for that next job to call them, or, you know, and they're just not sure what to do next as far as, you know, life itself. You know, they have a passion to do a business, to open a business, but they're like, I'm stuck. I'm not sure where to start. What would you say to that person?
You know, I was there, so I understand it. First things first, you got to realize that passion is because I used to, when people used to tell me things like this, I used to say, man, shut up. That's so corny. We talking about passion. Like, what is that? Right. But then you realize that a lot of people start businesses to make money. And I realized if you start a business to make money, you started for the wrong reason. Right.
Yeah.
You have to find there got to be something that you love to do that you can make money from. For instance, like me, you know, I always love to help people. You know, my mother is, you know, caring, and so always trying to reach out and help somebody. So I picked it up from her. Right. So I always love to help people. And I figured this whole credit thing made sense. Like I can actually help people and I can feed my family at the same time. So I would say whatever you're passionate about, if your passion is doing hair, if your passion is, you know, fixing cars, if your passion is whatever your passion is, I don't care if your passion is making bracelets, you know, just find out what your passion is, man, and just start. Don't sit around and worry about, hey, I can't do it because of this, or I can't do it because of that. Because a lot of times we automatically talk ourselves out of it, right? For example, Elon Musk, which was a great example. When he went to everybody and said he wanted to start a rocket company so he can go to Mars, people looked at him like he was nuts, right? Look at all the money he's making now, making reusable rockets. You know what I mean? You gotta, whatever your dream is, just follow it and push towards it. Don't let nobody talk you out of it. Unless it's just, you know, straight crazy. We still got to be realistic.
Right.
I mean, just try to just start. Don't sit around and say, hey, I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money for that. For instance, you know, I like to use the hair salon as a analogy because people, you know, people understand it. But the people that have their own shops today that are making, you know, millions of dollars and they doing stylists, they all started in their home doing their family hair and doing, you know, having people come over and doing their hair for a couple of dollars, and they built that up and they built and built and built until they're where they are today. So don't think because you can't start there doesn't mean that you can't do it. Because a lot of times you might look on TV and you say, wow, you know, this girl's making millions of dollars. She's styling, you know, this person, that person. But 10 years ago, she was in your seat watching TV, watching somebody else doing that. So just get up and do it. Don't sit around and don't talk yourself out of it. Just do it. Just whatever. I don't care. If you want to build cars, start with the seat. You know what I mean? Start with the edges. Start with selling tires. You know, start somewhere. That way you can build before you can put out your own brand. You're not always going to be able to start at the top. Sometimes you got to start at the bottom and work your way up, or start in the dirt, like, you know, like they like to say.
Yeah, there's two things that come to mind. One is don't judge the book by the chapter you walked in on.
Exactly. Yes.
You can't see Amazon is like, oh my God, they make $1 billion a minute. Yeah, but the guy started in his garage with a hand-drawn Amazon.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
right.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, and the other one was don't don't let your excuse or what's it, let your excuse be the reason
Yeah.
for what you
Exactly.
do. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
have any money. This is why you need to do this. I don't know enough. Well, that's why you need to study. So whatever your excuse is, that is your reason to do it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the other thing, Phil, everyone I've seen this week has had the same thing. I'm doing this to help people.
That's the best way to do it.
And everyone on your program has said, I'm not, I'd like to make money. Yeah. But, my biggest thing is to help people. And if I get paid for that, that's even better.
Mhm.
But it's like, what can I do? What can I do to help?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad. I'm so grateful that we have Dwayne Reid from Reid Financial Solutions. He's here on the line, and his service is available to everyone who's watching. On the banner, you will see his office number, and you will see his website. Check it out. Don't procrastinate. In fact, next week when we come back on, we're going to have Frank Coppola. He's going to talk about how to overcome procrastination,
Oh wow.
because that's your biggest enemy. Your
Oh man.
biggest enemy is, I'll wait till tomorrow, I'll wait till next week. And those are not promised to anybody. So while you have your now, use it.
Exactly.
Okay. You're watching this program right now and you're wishing and hoping, and the wishing and hoping are just scratches.
I
You
heard
need
somebody
to,
call it someday Isle, like someday
yeah,
island you're never going to get to because you're going to
yeah.
get
You'll
by the
never get
sharks.
to it.
That someday
Yeah,
Isle, not happening.
you always need to pursue. It's called the pursuit of happiness.
Mhm.
Okay, it takes grit. You're gonna have to do something to get something.
Yeah.
And so Dwayne,
Mhm.
you're an inspiration, man.
I appreciate it.
And it's great to see that you're doing your thing. You're making it happen. Now, I mean, before we go, I'm just gonna, if you had one word of advice, we'll close out on that.
Mhm.
If you had one word of advice to give, what would it be?
When it comes to your business, you won't be able to please everybody. So the quicker you realize that, the quicker you understand that everyone is not going to be, you can't please everyone. So you got to understand there has to be a certain type of level of understanding with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I'm gonna give an example. For instance, I might have a customer that might start in the 500s, and they're happy with a 650 credit score. They're excited. My score has never been this high before. You're the best. And I might have someone who started in the 500, end up with a 720, and they're mad they're not a 750. You can't please everybody. You just gotta, it is what it is. So once you understand that you have a certain level that you try to get them to, or you try you try to provide a certain service to a certain level, and once they get to that service, that level, you're satisfied, even if they're not satisfied. Because sometimes people don't, some people just can't be satisfied.
That's true.
So yeah.
That is true. That's right. Yeah, I
So
mean,
Dwayne, I'm
that's
I'm
that's the
checking
truth.
my score. I'm at 757.
Oh, that's pretty nice, man.
Well, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a great score, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what.
uh, we're gonna have Dwayne back on Monday between 12 and 1. You can join us on the line when you see the flyers out. You
Mhm.
can come and join us on the line if you have questions about your credit score. This is a great time to get answers to those questions.
Oh yeah.
So don't waste time. If when you come on Monday between 12 and 1, you can ask a couple questions and then reserve the services of Reid Financial Solutions. All
Mhm.
right. You need that in order to improve your credit. And there's nothing better than having great credit, because then you can dream and walk towards your dream.
Exactly.
Banks won't turn you down. They won't walk away because they see that you're somebody that they can put their money into.
Mhm.
And
All
your foot
right.
won't be bleeding, so you'll be able to walk.
Now we're gonna give Oscar Capel a second, just to kind of talk about what he does.
Mhm.
Oscar, now's your time. Go ahead, buddy.
Sure, real quick. My business, for you guys that have been there, I'm an associate with Legal Shield and ID Shield. And one of the things my ID Shield app does, and what I just told you guys, as soon as I turn it on, it lets me know what my credit score is. So if there's any change in that credit score, I can look at it instantly and call Dwayne and said, what is going on? Is it something I did? Or is it something outside of what I did? So that's one of the things we do on top of restoring identity, which we are the only ones that have licensed private investigators to do that, and restore everyone's identity back to pre-theft status. The legal service, again, if you have access to your phone, you have access to your law firm. We put it in your hand 24 hours a day that you can call your law firm no matter what. And
can you show them that line? Show them that tab there.
Which one?
Where you just press the button and you have the attorney right there.
Oh yeah, this is
we can't see it like that. We can't see it like that.
Yes. Real quick, it's oh yeah, you know what? I know where I have it. Hold on.
Yeah, you have it there. I've seen you bring it up.
I've got everything here. I got my chickens. I got everything over here. There we go. That's my.
Yes.
That's the app, and is talking about OPRA. I call that my OPRA button, because I know Oprah, if she needs her lawyer at 2:00 in the morning, she can call him and the lawyer will pick up.
He's gonna pick up.
Most people, don't have that option. Well, now we have done that. We have brought legal service to everyone that can afford $25 a month. So I have 50 cents a day to have a lawyer in your pocket. And that's what we do. And again, we do this for individuals, families. We have a whole small business plan that we bring in. If you're incorporating, we have a service that lets you do your LLC, save you thousands of dollars on that. So we're making legal services affordable to the masses. And my job is now to educate people on how to use it, and literally have, what it says on the Supreme Court, equal justice under law. I don't believe that's true. You get just as much justice as you can afford. And a lot of people are falling behind because they don't have the ability to speak to a real lawyer. So we're leveling the playing field for everyone in the country, coast to coast, and all of Canada.
Nice. So thank you very much for that, Oscar. Really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for watching. Dwayne, thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. And what's that?
Monday, 12:00?
12 to 1. Yes, sir. Yeah, Monday, 12 to 1. We really look forward to that. And I'm sure there are people that are going to be watching this. Look out for this program. It's going to be repeated throughout between now and Monday, so that you know how to reach out to Dwayne and reserve his services. All right. Again, I want to thank our sponsor, Thomas Tees at Allstate. Thank you so much for sponsoring our programs. And those who are watching, we will see you
next week.
Yeah. My brain froze for a second. I was like, what is going on?
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to fill in, when we flatline, you jump in. We're getting good at this.
We'll see
Thank you.